What if I told you that the way most older men masturbate is quietly sabotaging their health, not because of age, but because of habits they've never questioned? Sounds harsh, but I've seen it firsthand in my clinical practice. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s coming to me confused, not by illness, but by a slow erosion of sensitivity, confidence, and connection with their own bodies. I'm Dr. Rena, a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience. I've helped thousands of men navigate the physical and emotional shifts that come with aging. And one of the most overlooked yet crucial conversations is about masturbation. Here's the surprising truth. The techniques that once brought comfort in your 30s can actually bring harm after 60. And it's not because your body is broken, it's because your needs have evolved, but your approach hasn't. In this video, I'll reveal 7 masturbation mistakes silently damaging the health of older men. And more importantly, how to fix them. These aren't minor tweaks. They're essential shifts that can restore vitality, confidence, and deeper pleasure. And there's one mistake in particular, so common yet so harmful, that it might just change the way you see this part of your life forever. Let's begin. Before we begin, if you care about staying informed on real practical advice for men's health after 60, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss content designed specifically for you. And after watching, if this video speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. Your feedback helps me make these messages even more helpful. Let's start with the first and perhaps most misunderstood mistake, one that's been wrapped in myth, misinformation, and false promises for decades. It's the belief that holding back ejaculation somehow makes you stronger, more energized, or more masculine. But the truth, especially for men over 60, paints a very different and far more dangerous picture. Mistake 1, believing the semen retention myth. One of the most widespread and quietly harmful beliefs among older men is the idea that withholding ejaculation, sometimes for weeks or even months, can boost your strength, sharpen your mind, or raise your testosterone levels. You've probably heard claims like, you lose vital energy every time you release, or that abstinence somehow makes you more manly, more disciplined, even more spiritual. But here's the truth. That belief, especially after the age of 60, isn't just misleading. It can be dangerous. Your body isn't designed to hold back indefinitely. In fact, regular ejaculation serves an important biological purpose, especially as you age. It helps relieve pelvic congestion, maintains healthy circulation in the reproductive system, and may even lower the risk of prostate complications. Suppressing this natural function can lead to increased tension in the pelvic floor, irritability, restless sleep, and in some cases, discomfort or pain in the lower abdomen. And emotionally, it can foster feelings of frustration and disconnection, especially if you're clinging to the idea that discipline means denial. Medical research shows that moderate, healthy masturbation, even a few times a week, supports hormone regulation, stress reduction, and better sleep. It's not indulgence, it's balance. And it becomes more essential with age, not less. This isn't about chasing pleasure, it's about tuning into your body's signals and giving yourself permission to care for your sexual health the same way you care for your heart or joints. Think of it this way, you wouldn't go months without stretching or walking because you thought it made you stronger. In the same way, denying your body regular release doesn't make you more powerful. It can quietly work against your vitality. The key is moderation, not suppression. Healthy sexual expression at this stage of life is about maintenance, not excess. But here's the question most men never ask. If this one belief has been silently causing tension and discomfort for years, what other long-held habits could be dulling your sensitivity and weakening your experience without you even knowing it? The answer lies in something deceptively simple, something you've likely done the same way for decades. Let's take a closer look. If you're still watching and these insights are resonating with you, drop a number 1 in the comments to let me know you're here and taking this journey seriously. Now let's continue with the next important truth you need to hear. Mistake 2, using the same grip and technique every time. Over time, our bodies grow familiar with the routines we repeat, and for many older men, that includes using the exact same grip, pressure, and rhythm every time they masturbate. It's comfortable, it's predictable, and it's what has always worked. But here's the problem. What feels familiar can also become limiting. And when it comes to sexual health after 60, repetition isn't just boring. It can quietly dull your sensitivity and interfere with your ability to enjoy intimacy, both with yourself and with a partner. The nervous system is incredibly adaptive. If you constantly stimulate it in the same way, it begins to respond only to that specific pattern. This is known as desensitization. Over time, you may find it harder to climax, or you may feel less pleasure overall. Worse, when you're with a partner, your body may not respond to their touch the same way it does to your own, because it's been trained to expect a single, specific kind of stimulation. This doesn't mean you've lost your ability to feel. Far from it. What it means is that your system needs variety. A shift in technique, a lighter touch, a slower pace, a different hand, or even the use of safe stimulation tools can wake up dormant nerve pathways and reinvigorate your experience. Think of it as cross-training for your pleasure. Just like your muscles grow stronger when you challenge them with new exercises, your sexual response can become richer and more satisfying when you give it something new to explore. It's not about chasing novelty for its own sake. It's about honoring the changes in your body and allowing your pleasure to grow with you. You're not giving up what works. You're expanding what's possible. A little creativity and curiosity go a long way, especially when the goal is deeper connection, not just release. But even if you try new techniques, there's one deeply ingrained habit that can override it all. One that most men learned decades ago out of necessity and never unlearned. It's subtle, it's automatic, and it may be the reason why so many self-pleasure experiences feel rushed, disconnected, or strangely unsatisfying. Let's uncover it next. Mistake 3, rushing through the experience. For many men, the habit of rushing through masturbation began early in life, when privacy was limited, time was short, and the goal was simple: quick release. That behavior, repeated over decades, often becomes so automatic that by the time you're in your 60s or 70s, you may not even realize you're still treating self-pleasure like a task to check off a list. But at this stage in life, that rushed approach can quietly rob you of the deeper, more nourishing benefits your body is still fully capable of experiencing. When you rush, you're not giving your body time to build arousal gradually. Your mind disengages, your breathing shortens, and the entire act becomes mechanical. It's no longer a moment of connection, but rather a sprint to the finish, one that leaves you feeling flat, underwhelmed, or even emotionally disconnected afterward. The nervous system thrives on presence and rhythm. When those are missing, the experience loses its depth. Slowing down is more than just taking your time. It's about shifting your mindset from release to awareness. When you give yourself permission to breathe deeply, focus on sensation, and allow arousal to build slowly, you activate the full range of your body's sensitivity. You notice more, you feel more, and most importantly, you reestablish a sense of emotional intimacy with yourself. This doesn't mean the experience has to be long or drawn out. It means it should feel intentional, not rushed. When you approach self-pleasure with this kind of presence, it becomes a form of self-care, not just release. It can help regulate your mood, improve your sleep, and even enhance your confidence in partnered intimacy. It becomes restorative rather than draining. But even slowing down won't unlock the full potential of your experience if your focus remains limited to just one area of the body. There's a powerful shift that happens when you expand your awareness beyond what's familiar, when you remember that pleasure isn't confined to a single region. There are parts of your body you've likely been overlooking for years, and they may hold the key to a far richer, more complete experience. Let's explore that next. Mistake 4, ignoring the rest of your body. As men, many of us were conditioned early on to think of pleasure as something that begins and ends in one place, the genitals. For decades, that narrow focus might have worked just fine. But as the body ages and sensitivity shifts, continuing to limit stimulation to just one area can drastically reduce the depth, variety, and satisfaction of your experience. It's like listening to an orchestra but only hearing one instrument. There's so much more happening beneath the surface, if you're willing to tune in. Your body is filled with nerve endings and erogenous zones that, when activated, can amplify pleasure, increase emotional connection, and awaken sensations you may not have felt in years. The chest, inner thighs, lower abdomen, neck, shoulders, and especially the perineum are often overlooked but are powerful areas of sensitivity. By ignoring these parts of your body, you're not just missing out on physical stimulation. You're missing a vital opportunity to reconnect with yourself as a whole person, not just a single function. Exploring these areas isn't about being experimental or trying to be someone you're not. It's about respecting your body's complexity and allowing your pleasure to evolve as you do. Touch can be gentle or firm, warm or cool, still or rhythmic. Even simple techniques like light massage, mindful breathing, or placing a warm towel on the body can elevate your experience in ways that are both grounding and intensely satisfying. And perhaps most importantly, when you engage more of your body, you also engage more of your mind. You become present. You notice how touch feels on different skin, how your breath responds, how your emotions shift. This kind of awareness deepens everything, from arousal to afterglow. It reminds you that pleasure isn't a performance. It's a relationship with your own body. But even with full body awareness, many older men are still making a simple but critical mistake that affects comfort, sensitivity, and even long-term skin health. It's something most don't even think about, yet it plays a major role in how enjoyable or frustrating each experience becomes. And the solution is easier and more powerful than you might expect. Let's talk about it next. Mistake 5. Avoiding lubrication. As men get older, the skin naturally becomes thinner, drier, and less elastic, especially in intimate areas. But despite these changes, many older men continue to masturbate without any lubrication, either out of habit, embarrassment, or the belief that it's unnecessary. What they don't realize is that skipping this simple step could be quietly reducing their sensitivity, causing discomfort, and even accelerating skin damage over time. Without lubrication, friction increases, and while that may not seem like a big deal in the moment, repeated dry stimulation can lead to micro tears in the skin, irritation, and gradual desensitization. Over time, what once felt pleasurable can begin to feel dull or even slightly painful. This discomfort can subtly train the brain to associate self-pleasure with tension instead of relaxation, which is the opposite of what your body needs, especially at this stage of life. Using a high-quality lubricant changes everything. It reduces friction, protects delicate skin, and allows for smoother, more natural motion. It enhances sensation rather than dulling it. For many men, it's the missing piece that reawakens sensitivity they thought was lost. And for those with arthritis or reduced hand strength, lubrication can reduce effort and make the experience more fluid and enjoyable overall. Think of lube the same way you think of reading glasses or a supportive pair of shoes. It's not about weakness, it's about working with your body, not against it. It's a simple tool that meets your changing needs with intelligence and care. And there's no shame in using what works. In fact, embracing lubrication is one of the easiest and most effective ways to enhance your pleasure, preserve sensitivity, and protect your skin for years to come. But even with the right technique, the right mindset, and the right tools, there's one powerful obstacle that still holds many men back. It doesn't come from the body. It comes from the past. It's the weight of old beliefs, silent guilt, and unspoken shame that still lingers beneath the surface. And until it's faced, true freedom and satisfaction remain out of reach. Let's address that next. Mistake 6. Feeling shame or guilt about the act. For many men over 60, the beliefs they carry about masturbation were shaped decades ago, in a time when sexuality was rarely discussed openly and self-pleasure was often seen as something shameful, private, or even immoral. These early messages may have come from family, religion, culture, or society. And even if you've long since outgrown them intellectually, they often remain embedded in the background of your emotions. The result? Even today, you might find yourself feeling uneasy, rushed, or strangely guilty after masturbating, as if you're doing something wrong. This quiet shame is more than just emotional discomfort. It can disrupt the entire experience, keeping you from fully relaxing, staying present, or enjoying the deeper benefits that masturbation can offer, especially at your age. It creates an internal conflict, where part of you seeks connection, relief, and comfort, while another part holds back in silence or judgment. Over time, this emotional tension can lead to avoidance, performance anxiety, or a complete disconnection from your sexual self. But here's the truth: there is nothing shameful about taking time to care for your body, your emotions, and your well-being through mindful self-pleasure. In fact, when approached with respect and intention, it becomes a powerful act of self-care, one that supports your mental clarity, emotional balance, hormonal regulation, and even cardiovascular health. Studies show that older adults who engage in regular, guilt-free self-pleasure experience better sleep, improved mood, and greater self-confidence. Letting go of shame means looking honestly at where those beliefs came from and asking whether they still serve the man you are today. You've earned the right to live without apology, to embrace your needs without fear, and to experience pleasure as a form of nourishment, not something to be hidden or rushed through. You are not indulging, you are honoring your body. But even with the right mindset, many men unknowingly hold themselves back physically, simply because they haven't adapted their habits to the realities of aging. There are powerful, discreet tools made specifically for men in this stage of life. And once you know how to use them, everything can change. Let's explore that next. Mistake 7. Ignoring tools and enhancements designed for men over 60. As the body changes with age, many men experience subtle shifts in sensitivity, stamina, flexibility, and dexterity. These are natural transitions, not signs of failure, but signs of life lived. Yet despite these changes, most men continue using the same approach to self-pleasure they developed in their 20s, unaware that their current needs require something different. What's worse, even when tools and enhancements are available, they're often dismissed due to pride, discomfort, or simply not knowing what's out there. But the truth is, using specialized tools isn't about replacing your touch or taking shortcuts. It's about working with your body as it is today. There are a wide range of products designed specifically for older men: soft silicone sleeves that mimic natural sensations, devices that support joint stiffness, vibrational aids that reawaken nerve endings, and ergonomic shapes that allow for easier, more comfortable movement. These tools aren't gimmicks. They're smart, practical solutions to enhance comfort, pleasure, and ease, especially for men who may be managing arthritis, reduced grip strength, or changing sensation. Using a well-designed aid can mean the difference between a frustrating experience and a deeply satisfying one. It's not about weakness, it's about wisdom. Just like you wouldn't hesitate to use a cane for balance or reading glasses for clarity, these tools exist to support your well-being and preserve your ability to feel connected, capable, and confident. Adapting your approach doesn't mean you're giving something up. It means you're gaining access to a new level of comfort, control, and even discovery. Many men who try these enhancements report feeling more sensation, more engagement, and a renewed sense of curiosity about their own bodies. It's not too late to grow in this area. In fact, for many, it's just the beginning of a deeper, more intentional chapter. And while tools and techniques are essential, they're only part of the story. The real transformation happens when your mindset shifts, when self-pleasure becomes less about routine and more about self-respect, awareness, and lifelong connection. Let's bring everything together now and look at what a complete, healthy, and fulfilling approach can really mean for you. Conclusion: reclaiming pleasure, confidence, and self-respect. Reaching your 60s and beyond doesn't mean letting go of intimacy. It means approaching it with more wisdom, care, and intention than ever before. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered 7 common mistakes that older men make when it comes to masturbation. Holding on to the semen retention myth, using the same grip and routine, rushing through the experience, ignoring the rest of the body, avoiding lubrication, carrying hidden shame, and overlooking the tools that can make all the difference. Each of these habits, while often formed years ago, can quietly rob you of the satisfaction, connection, and confidence you still deserve. But the power to change them is entirely within your reach. This isn't about chasing what used to be. It's about creating something new that fits the man you are today. A man who has lived, learned, and earned the right to feel whole. Pleasure is not a luxury. It's a part of your well-being. It's a way of listening to your body, tending to your emotional health, and staying connected to your own sense of self-worth. The smallest changes, slowing down, exploring more, using support, releasing guilt, can lead to profound shifts. You are not too old for discovery. In fact, this may be the perfect time to reconnect with your body in a way that feels more meaningful than ever before. You deserve that, and it starts by giving yourself permission to begin.